SpecCast made a 1957 Chevrolet pickup and marketed it with an International Harvester refrigerator. My neighbor had two huge IH deep freezers. At the time I saw them, I was totally unaware that IH had made refrigerators and deep freezers. After all, IH was a farm equipment and truck manufacturer. Hi, I'm Logan, and this is another episode of Toy Talk. Today, I want to talk about SpecCast's 1957 Chevy pickup and an unusual IH refrigerator sold with the truck. Before modern refrigeration, people used snow and ice, as well as cold water and spices to preserve their food. With the invention of electricity, inventors started to try to invent ways to make artificial cold. By the way, any guesses as to where I am today? Drop them in the comments and see if you're right at the end of the video. Let's take a moment to look at the brief history of the development of the refrigerator. I found this very interesting, and I hope you do too. Starting way back in 1748, William Culler was the first person to discover evaporative cooling, one of the principal ways of achieving artificial cold. In 1834, Jacob Perkins invented the first vapor compressor system for refrigerators. Carl von Linde patented a process of liquefying gases in 1876. By 1913, Fred W. Wolf became the first to invent the first home electric refrigerator. Somebody had to be first, right? In 1918, William C. Durant began the mass production of home refrigerators with self-contained compressors. Moving on from this brief history of the refrigerator to International Harvester's involvement in the home appliance market. International Harvester's involvement in the home appliance market centered around a marketing campaign that targeted primarily farmers and farm wives. 1935, rural electrification came to the farms, and once the farms had electricity, it seemed only natural that the farmers' wives would want the things that city folks had been enjoying for years. You know, like refrigerators and freezers, to mention a few. It seemed logical, so in 1947, IH developed an all-woman marketing campaign that turned an all-women sales force and a newly created Irma Harding loose on the farms to sell IH freezers and refrigerators. Irma Harding was a fictional character designed to represent International Harvester's new home appliance division. As one of the 70 International Harvester home economists once put it, we were all Irma Harding. You would think that selling freezers and refrigerators to farmers would have been a snap. However, the IH ladies had to overcome years upon years of canning, called putting back, pickling, salting, and using other traditional methods for food preservation. Along with the freezers and the refrigerators, IH sold many accessories such as freezer containers, cookbooks, and other items to educate wives on the new techniques of freezing foods. International Harvester even built an all-new plant in Evansville, Indiana, which became IH's new domestic refrigeration division. The plant included a test kitchen for their home economist and headquarters for Irma Harding and her all-women sales force. Irma Harding's portrait was featured in numerous advertisements and campaigns for IH home appliances. Sadly, all things come to an end. In 1955, less than 10 years into the new venture, IH sold the home appliance division to Whirlpool. What a shame. Had they given it more time to develop, we might all be using IH refrigerators today. Later on, mounting debt saw IH selling the farm equipment division to Case in 1984 and the truck division to Navistar as well, ending the once giant corporation of International Harvester. However, Irma didn't fall into obscurity. Irma lived on in the hearts and minds of generations to come. Even so much that food bloggers picked her up and would ask, what would Irma think? This renewed interest in the old-fashioned food preservation methods enticed Case IH enough to bring Irma Harding back in 2014 in the form of a new 250-page instructional How to Preserve Food and cookbook. It was released by Octane Press for Case IH to sell to memorabilia collectors and a new generation of wives preserving food using old-fashioned methods. The book, titled Canning, Pickling, and Freezing, was promoted by the farm equipment maker and sold at Case IH dealers. How cool is that? It's too bad the Case IH doesn't bring back a line of refrigerators to go with Irma. And this is the 1957 Chevrolet pickup with International Harvester refrigerator and a little two-wheel hand cart for International Harvester refrigeration, sales, and service. It's a 1/25th scale pickup in die cast by SpecCast. Been made many years ago. We'll start off with the pickup. It is a nice, highly detailed 1/25th scale pickup. It does not have steerable front end, but it does have an opening tailgate, opening cab doors, detailed interior. It has a nice wood grain bed in the and the hood opens. Under the hood, it has an orange Chevrolet, probably 350 V8, and it is a V8 engine. Carburetor on top, chrome head covers, and chrome carburetor with nice exhaust running down underneath. You can see the exhaust coming out, muffler, and all the under detail. But it has the nice leaf spring suspension, does not work on the front. It has shocks on the rear, leaf springs, and then it also has drive shaft, nice rolling tires, old vintage bias ply tread with white walls, and chrome wheels. Chrome, they love to put chrome on because it's nice and flashy, but I'd prefer more of a painted metal because that would have been more realistic. It has Chevrolet right there, and then the doors. IH Refrigeration, Sales and Service is also right there on the door. Inside, it's got a shifter on the floor, steering column, a nice looking dashboard, and pedals on the floor, plus a big bench seat. Hard plastic front and rear window, and then the little wind wing, but the regular windows are rolled down. On the front, individual Juul style headlights, and then individual Juul style turn signals there. Got a chrome piece here on the front with the Chevy molded into it. Nice chrome bumper, and then these nice little chrome bullet accents that Chevy put on the trucks. I think they were only on the Cameos at the time, but it looks nice. Then on the back, we have the tailgate. We have IH Refrigeration written on the tailgate. 57 truck, 1957 on the license plate. And then the taillights, which are actually just some
chrome plated with a little bit of Tamiya clear red paint on them to make them look like they're reflective. Could have used individual jewels, but they didn't. That's okay. And then there is the fuel filler cap tampoed. Door handles are tampoed. They did a really nice job on this truck when they made it. Typical of the 1/25th scale stuff, you know, plastic chassis, but die-cast bodies. Really nice model. Then they included this little two-wheeled hand truck, you know, a little hand dolly for hauling the refrigerator. Doesn't have a strap to hold it, but it's okay. It does have rolling wheels on it, so it would roll. It's got these pieces here, so if it fell down, it would sit up. Just like your typical two-wheel hand truck. Now, it is die-cast. It's not plastic. It's actually die-cast. But the wheels are plastic. The little wheels are plastic. That's okay for the black wheels. Now, for the coolest part of this set. A chunk of resin. It's just a solid chunk of resin. Look, see? Solid bottom, solid top, solid white back, solid white sides. But it does have the seams molded in. Now to the front. Check it out. International Harvester written there. It has the latch where you pull it out and it unlatches. Very common in the 40s and 50s refrigerators, but not really a great idea because you could get yourself actually stuck inside them. That's why they removed that latch and went to the magnets that we have today. Then these two trim pieces are painted over in silver. Then look at that, a little IH decal. Actually, it's a little tampo, and it has a ring around it just like the real refrigerators had. This is really cool because we don't have hardly anything at all to remember international made refrigerators. So I'm glad SpecCast did this. This would be cool, honestly, to take these and make kind of a line of them for 64 scale and 16th scale. Be perfect in those dioramas, wouldn't you think? I can just see that going really well. This looks like a single door that opens both the fridge and the freezer sections, which a lot of those IH refrigerators were. They were just a single door. You open it up, there was a freezer portion down below. I mean, these refrigerators were actually probably better engineered, better thought of than today's. Today's we've got all of this high-tech internet connections. Who needs an internet connection on a refrigerator? I mean, come on, we don't need that. But we have all this high-tech stuff, and the refrigerators don't last. But inside, basically, you have a cold tray for veggies, and then maybe a meat drawer, a place in the door for eggs, and then shelves. That's it. Then they throw a light in. That's all. They're not very thought out inside. Freezers, we have a drawer that comes out, and maybe a couple of shelves, maybe some things in the door if there's a door. But either way, there's not really hardly any thought. These guys had multiple compartments, places in the doors. They were really well thought out on the inside, and we could really use some of that in refrigeration today. Also, we could definitely use them making far more durable refrigerators and other appliances today. It's such a shame that International really, it's just terrible that they did not survive and they gave up on this project. This could have been a way to keep IH in everybody's mind, just in their homes. You'd always see that IH logo, which would remind you for your tractors and everything else. Branding was everything, and they just blew it by getting rid of this division. It's really a shame. But that's what happened. Now let's go on and put it all back together and finish it off. And there it is. The 1/25th scale die-cast 1957 Chevy step-side pickup hauling a brand new 1957 International Harvester refrigerator. It's for IH Refrigeration Sales and Service. It's made by SpecCast, and it's headed out from the IH dealer to a farm to deliver the farm a brand new refrigerator so you can join the 20th century.
Preserving food has been a primary concern of people everywhere. The old methods are still practiced all over the world. New methods are continuing to be developed. Who knows what's in store for us in the future? Now, for the earlier question, where am I? I'm on the set of Friends in Monica and Rachel's apartment. Now for a tidbit of trivia. The wildly popular TV show Friends featured an old International Harvester refrigerator in a lot of its episodes. It was in Monica and Rachel's kitchen. Such an eclectic set piece for nostalgia. Thanks for watching, guys. Please smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss next week's video.